click.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, exactly. You know, Greg, I found an enemy bigger and worse than the Moon Hunter.
Yeah?
Fake shitty Lobo.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's called the U.S. Postal Service.
We love the Postal Service. Their music is so great. I loved when the album came out in the early 2000s after Death Cab for Cutie decided to take a break from releasing music and for a moment, and they did the little kind of like break, and then there was a solo project, and we got the Postal Service. It's great.
Yeah, and besides the dulcet sounds of the fucking leaf blower going on outside beside me, because whenever I try to do anything here at this place, somebody comes and decides to make lots of noise. This used to happen at your house all the time, and now when we do it earlier in the day, it happens at my house. Yeah. And on top of that, I had to deal with the Postal Service today. I have been trying to get a speaker for the center console of my 11-year-old new car that I just purchased for myself.
You time traveled and got a car the middle that's new but 11 years old? Wow!
I did. And the speaker, why are they blowing the leaf blower stuff into my yard now? Right from the neighbor's yard.
Because they don't care about your house.
This doesn't even make any sense. Now they're getting closer. I don't even know what they're doing. They're in a full mask with the leaf blower on. Like gator mask. It's 60 degrees outside. It's gonna get hotter. I don't understand. Now they're going to make all this noise that I can't edit out of the podcast. And then I can't... Okay, so I have a center speaker and it's blown. So when you take a phone call, it's like crackly. And when you listen to the AM radio...
It's even crackier.
The AM radio? The AM radio?
Hey!
The AM radio?
Come on down to the AM radio station.
The AM radio. Yeah. Well, where I try to listen to the Seattle Mariners baseball games, which is also always a symphony of sadness, even though we're in first place by 5 games. We'll give a little bit of a clue to people when we're recording this podcast.
Don't worry, it'll change.
And then, it'll change. I'm sure by the time you listen to this podcast, we'll be in third place. But so I ordered one speaker, and it came from a used marketplace on eBay, and the speaker had a big hole in the middle of it. So I sent it back.
Yeah,
right?
Because that's unusable.
That doesn't solve the problem. That would just be putting a speaker in that does the same thing. Yeah. So then I ordered another speaker, and it looked very beautiful. And I get a notification from the post office that I need to go pick it up. So I go to pick it up.
Yeah.
They look for it for 15 minutes. They help other people. They finally come back and find it, and they're like, oh, well, you need to pay additional postage to get the package. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't send the package. Wouldn't you be charging the additional postage to the person that sent the package?
And you've already paid for the postage I've
already paid for the postage and the item.
They did not pay the correct postage to send you the item. They just pocketed the postage thinking they made money, but they did not. I know this because I sell things occasionally online. You know this as well.
What is free shipping? It was free shipping technically, but that's usually incorporated into the price. Yes.
And they should have.
If you are doing free shipping on eBay, you should be incorporating into the price. Otherwise, you are losing money.
Price of the product, yes. So people out there listening, this is a learning situation for you. Always have a buffer on your price so that you can pay for that shipping and make sure that whatever it is that you're sending to somebody gets there and doesn't turn into this type of situation, because nobody likes that, right, Dan? Make sure you got your... because you don't want to...
Well, I don't have anything now, so I don't have a speaker. I told them to return it to sender. They apparently shipped it for 8 ounces, and it was 1.4 pounds.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on.
8 ounces is like the amount of food my dog eats in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, it's a little speaker. It's not a very heavy this is just the little center console speaker, the one that talks to you. Magnet. This is not the music speaker. When music is playing, everything is fine. All of the nice music is coming around from these nice big Pioneer speakers on the edges.
It's a little tiny baby.
But and anyway, oh my God, I'm never going to get a speaker. Good news though. I ordered another speaker on Amazon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
From a different vendor.
Yeah.
But of course, now that speaker, I ordered that, but then saw I'd already ordered the one on eBay, but then ordered this one too, and then I was like, you know what? I think I will just not cancel it until I see that the other one works out.
Smart, yeah.
Because they were taking a long time to send it. So this is from like a third-party vendor, right? So all of you out there that think I'm being evil, I had no plans to send the other one back. Actually, I was just going to cancel the order because they still haven't sent it yet. Yes. So, yeah, maybe I'm a bad person now because I'm getting too many speakers. But I'm getting no speakers.
And that's why you're getting no speakers, because you're a bad person. It's karma.
Yeah, that must be it. I mean, I just want a speaker. I literally...
It came back and got you. It got you before you got it. You didn't get nothing.
Let's track the package on... Oh, this other one has not even been sent.
Wow, life got you before you got it.
I ordered it on May 28th.
People, if you're listening...
And it has not been sent yet.
If you're tracking what I'm saying as to the package that Dan is tracking that's not coming, you know what I mean. Dan, you obviously... Life knows. Bad man, Dan. Dan the bad man.
Well, let's call out Taylor Auto Parts 02 on eBay. Fuck off.
Wow.
Fuck off for not giving me my items, right? We're going to, you know what? Yeah, in fact, if you are a listener out there, I would just avoid Taylor Auto Parts and their 98.3 positive feedback rating. That's actually not great on eBay, by the way. I should have maybe paid attention to that.
Sounds like it's good.
And so whatever they're stripping out of cars, well, you know, I would give them a 10% positive feedback personally. That rating's about to go down today, so you won't be, but I will be knocking that feedback rating down.
Damn this man!
It'll be going. They'll be adding a negative to their 626 positives and 11 negatives, but we'll be adding
one more
a negative. So
the positives.
That's going to be happening. Also, if I go back in my eBay history, I can help everybody out and tell you who else not to shop with if you want me to continue this. Like that's fine. Also, Transit Auto Inc. Yeah, fuck you for delivering shitty products to me and giving me a speaker with a hole in it. So I'd also avoid Transit Auto Inc. They have a actually higher feedback rating, so I went for it. I have not lowered their feedback rating yet, but
he will. You watch out.
Well, I think that one might be partly my fault, because I think in the picture I might have been able to see that the speaker was broken. Now, why they're selling broken speakers is a whole different question.
Hey, they're selling it because they know that people like you, the customer, is there's going to be customers that are ordering several products out there, and you might not return one of the products that you get because I got a working one, whatever. And they're hoping that you're just going to order and just sit on it and not return it.
Well, now I've got one coming from the AC Delco store itself. It's just taking forever, but it's supposed to be a brand new one. It's supposed to be perfect. Someday I will get it.
Someday?
Someday, not Sunday. Someday in the far future, probably when I won't want a speaker
when this
anymore.
Podcast airs,
but I will get this speaker. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's true. Based on since it hasn't even been shipped yet, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh man.
Yeah. Apparently, also, I was going to check in on our, Speakergate. And basically, we're going to call this Speakergate. Until I get a speaker, this is Speakergate. It's ridiculous. I think I should start like a GoFundMe page for Get Dan a Speaker
for the middle console. I mean, like, what else do you want, Dan?
Yeah.
I mean, I
of a 2013 Chevy Equinox.
It's a nice vehicle. I was looking at them the other day.
I like my car.
I want to ride in it.
Have you seen my car yet?
No, I looked at pictures of them when you told me what you're getting, so I would know what it is that you'd be pulling up in, so I wouldn't go, who is this weird person coming up to my door or the store and yelling at me through the door or my window?
Right. Well, I would yell at you I would ring the bell to get you to come back there.
You would.
And you would.
I'd be like, go away, Dan.
Yeah, it's just like, how much effort does it take for one human to get a speaker for their car? Like, this is insanity.
I don't know. I find it funny is you told me, you promised when you started you wouldn't. Well, maybe it was you said you wouldn't start off with a bunch of obscenities, but boy oh boy, you let the obscenities fly because you're very heated and angry.
Well, everyone knows this is an obscenity laden podcast. Oh. Like, there's no secret here.
Well, coming from your mouth, Dan, you swear.
Look, just because you don't embrace this.
I mean,
it's also the time of year. As long as we're on obscenity laden rants, this is also the time of year that every company that hates gay people throughout the rest of the year puts rainbows and stuff on their company logos.
Yep. It was the ironic.
Yeah. So happy Pride. On that note, happy Pride, everyone. Pride. I know this is going to come up. This might actually come out after Pride Month is over. Yeah, probably. But you know what? So I should have been saying happy Pride on other ones we recorded, knowing that they would come out at a certain time. This one probably comes out at the end. But you know what? Happy Pride, everyone.
Hey, yeah.
Be happy. You don't have to be angry like me. That's okay. It's okay to be happy. If you got your speaker, which you probably did, you're way happier than I am. So it's fine. You probably also didn't have to go to the post office, which I will let you know was not flying any pride flags at all, because they hate gay people at the post office. And bisexual people and lesbian people and trans people, the post office hates all of you. Wow,
that's a bold statement.
Well, actually, it might be true. I think actually it's not true right now. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but
like in November, it may be very much true.
It might be the people standing in front of the post office that don't, because they can do that per the discussions and discourse that I've had in the past with the people standing in front of the post office. But yeah. I was gonna say.
I mean. Well, based on their lack of a display and their lack of any signs that give you instructions on where to go to get the things you need, even though they have special lines for certain things, a piece of yellow 5S tape on the floor. And if you don't know what 5S tape is, let me tell you, Greg and I can tell you all about
5S tape.
Lean 5S, but we're not going to do that right now. What is it, like shine, sustain? I can only remember two of them right now.
There's so many.
It's okay.
But, hey, everything.
There's five of the 5S's.
Everything in its place. Every place has a thing.
Yeah, well, the good news, they have one piece of yellow tape on the floor that tells you where to stand, apparently, for these pickups, but doesn't have a sign anywhere that says pick up here. There's a sign that says, like, ring the bell. Who knows? When you ring the bell at the post office, what could possibly happen? I've looked at Project Nerd to see what could possibly happen if you were ringing the bell.
Yeah? What can happen?
For example, on project-nerd.com, you could end up with a really strange pasta counter that shows a horse and a human.
Because humans eat horses or horses eat humans, or you could eat as much pasta as a horse. That's what I think they're getting at. I'm as hungry as.
Yeah, I also found out that if you have a nanny, that could be your ex-husband in a costume.
Oh, that's a plot. I've seen that before.
I've seen that one before. Yes. I think. Yeah, I'm actually was trying to make up my normal thing about Project Nerd telling you what their website represents, but based on the random shit here, a post here, I have no idea what to tell you they do.
They got
you. Project-nerd.com. Project-nerd.com. Go there for randomness and some sort of spandex podcast about wrestling and stuff.
Wrestling spandex podcast and
us.
Yeah, all that.
I mean, after this one, there's no way we're going to be on that channel anymore. But
because Dan's rant about the post office and eBay sellers and all that, yeah.
Well, the important thing to remember is anything I say, there's probably no validity to it at all. But the other piece of that is
Dan's opinions.
Yeah, I mean, it's
they're Dan's opinions.
Well, yeah, I think we're probably going back to that. The post office probably does hate gay people, so like, it's probably true.
Okay.
How do you know it's not true? Can you prove that it's?
We can't.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can't prove it's true. And I'm happily wearing my Funny Book Forensics hat. No, I'm not. I'm wearing my Tacoma Rainiers hat.
You liar!
No, I'm not. And it's a good news. Aren't you glad I did not wear my Funny Book Forensics hat to the post office?
I am. That's like...
now they just think the Tacoma Rainiers hate them.
Yeah. That's like when Anne and I went to a store for her shoes, and there was a very bad situation, and I was wearing a shop hat, and the person was like, "How can we make this better?" And I was like, "You can't. You've already made it terrible."
I do love that. How can we make this better for you? How about like not be terrible?
I was like, I every experience here has been horrible. I apologize that I'm so blunt and honest, but this is just my natural setting. I cannot turn that off. So could you just finish the transaction and stop trying to upsell us on a program that we already bought that you're not providing for us because you can't find it in your system? And then they found it, and then they gave us all of the money.
Well, and I also just I hate it, and I am not always perfect, but I don't like it. Like, if you are at a restaurant and people are bitching at the wait staff all the time, it's probably not the wait staff's fault. But if you are the direct person interacting with me and doing the thing, that probably is your fault. Yeah. But also, it might be the fault of the systems that they have to deal with. Nine
out of 10 times, it's the system that someone is working within. It's a pay system. It's a certain kind of seating system, whatever.
Bad software system. But I haven't been taught well.
And it's one of those things where it's like, just if you can do the one thing that I'm asking you to do, that's all I need you to do. There's no way to make this situation either better or in this case, like in certain cases, it's just going to continue to get worse. So how can we fix that? You and I have been in situations where we've just got up and left a couple of times.
Yes,
we've done that at a few restaurants. Even Anne and I did that last week. We were just like, you know what, this isn't working. We've only been here for 5 minutes, and we already know it's a bad idea.
Well, and that's a much better approach than yelling at somebody.
Just know what your limits are in a situation, and know if it's already going to be bad. Like you already know your interaction is just not okay. And
I think when I go to the post office, I have to like mentally prepare myself for like 15 minutes just for the trip.
Well, and that,
because I know it's going to be terrible.
That's a situation where you have to go and engage. You can't just not. So you're stuck in it, and it's just.
Well, they don't engage with you when you get there, so it's okay.
That's true.
It's just like, and the post office. See, I feel like it's okay to get mad at them because they're the same people that have been there forever, all the time. When you go.
Sometimes they're just replicas of the ones that were there before.
Do you think so? Do you think they're replicants? What if they were? You know what? What if the people at the post office were werewolves?
I don't know. That could be true. They could be werewolves. My uncle, he worked at the post office, and he's very hairy.
I don't. If it's the uncle I'm thinking of, I don't know what. Okay, thank God. I don't. I was about to say, please,
East Coast uncle.
Wow, you broke my brain right there.
Like 5 uncles so
that's fair.
And your interactions are only generally with the one here, so in the Pacific Northwest. So I
had so many thoughts, but now I can't share any of them.
My uncle, my post office uncle, who just retired. He I think another replicant just took over his position, and they are a werewolf. Of course, much like the werewolves we're covering in this book.
Well, we probably should get to this book. I mean, I feel like I've been on any possible... I feel like it's a perfect day. The trip to the post office set me up to review this book because the book is as bad or worse than experience with this post office.
The cover's awesome. It is, man. It's got exactly what you've been asking for the last 4 issues.
Let's be clear. I was only asking for it because I was told this was about Captain America being a werewolf.
And you got it.
I did not ask. I did not ask to do Cap Wolf. Our listeners asked.
And you said, when are we going to get Cap Wolf? Because I'm not getting that in this book because there's no Cap.
That is true. Well,
on the cover.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off, and actually after 3 freaking issues in part 4, we get Cap Wolf.
Cap Wolf. No cap.
We were promised. Well, I guess because it's called Man and Wolf. Maybe that Captain America. Okay, so wait. We're gonna flip a page in a second because I have questions for you. You have not fully been disclosing to me about Captain America, and I'm very upset because I've asked you questions and you have not answered them properly, and now I'm putting your feet to the fire here. So yes, this is a cool cover. We have a red background with an obscured werewolf face with a scary mouth, and the Captain America shield is covering up America. So it's just Captain Shield.
Shield, Wolf Man, hungry.
And Man and Wolf part 4 of 6. Got Captain America up in the corner, of course. Late August of some year. I think 1992. Yeah. That is correct.
Really?
The cover date, release date was June 24th, 1992. So I'm sure the entire comic book world was abuzz on June 24th, 1992. People were running to the stores. This went to a second, third, fourth printing because it's so popular.
People couldn't believe they were like, oh my gosh, this book right here, this run, can't wait.
This led the sales charts. I mean, we have a Batman appearance in this book. It's pretty crazy.
I know. So. People are like, what? In a Marvel book, there's a Batman? We'll get there. Just wait.
Yep. Well, I think we should turn the page here to the first page.
Yeah, that first page.
Because here we're back to, this is Dr. Nightshade.
Dr. Nightshade.
Not to be confused with Dr. Midnight from DC Comics at all.
No confusion.
If you aren't aware, the legacy Dr. Midnight character in Infinity Inc. was an African-American woman named Beth. If you've watched Stargirl, they had a younger version of that. If you knew that, and just like all the other analog characters in this book where they just copy from each other, we created a African-American woman in a skin-tight suit that's calling herself Doctor or something, Dr. Nightshade, instead of Dr. Midnight.
It's funny because her name is Elsbeth. I'm just joking.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder what Dr. Nightshade, didn't she have a name? And her name is Tilda, apparently.
Tildabeth? Oh.
No. She was known as Deadly Nightshade, Dr. Nightshade, apparently.
Interesting.
In the 70s. Oh, she was the original queen of the werewolves. Okay. So this was the same lady that was in the thing with
yes. So it's a follow-on.
With the Falcon.
Okay. So the Falcon.
Yeah. So she is a legacy character, so I take that back. Her being in the skin-tight outfit, being a doctor,
is legit.
That's the only ripoff from the DC piece. Well, they should have left her in her original costume. It's fantastic. Here, like, this is actually worth taking a minute. I know no one else can see the costume, but if you want to look up her costume,
it looks like she's.
You absolutely should.
This costume looks like it's a mixture of gore and I want to say. See, that's that's very well. I mean, timely for the time that they were making that book too, and all. But the costume that she's in is very like gore meets. Oh man, what do I want to say? Oh, Kiss. Yeah, it's like skin tight, but
Guar.
Yeah,
did you say meets Kiss and Mad Max?
We don't need another hero, but we need another werewolf.
We've got the faux Road Warrior shoulder pads, except they go up in sort of like a big circle. Yeah,
it's barbed wire.
It's anyway, she's injecting him, and he's going to turn into a werewolf. It's very exciting. Okay, so Cap transforms into a werewolf, and we get a title befitting a title I would give to our podcast. Dances with Werewolves. Yeah. Very creative there.
I think you should just use that as our...
straight up.
Just Dances with Werewolves. That's the...
we'll see if I remember that by the time I edit this one.
Is that our podcast new name? Dances with Werewolves?
Werewolves?
Can we call it Break Dances with Werewolves? Where it's a werewolf breakdance dance-off?
Ooh, I feel like he does do more breakdancing in here than he does do dancing.
They're actually dance battling. So instead of instead of fighting with all the other werewolves, he's like in a breakdance battle with them. Very much like all of our favorite Step Up movies. Oh, that would be great. I want that. Capwolf, give it to me.
Well, here's some good news about this comic, and I like Nell sell your jokes like I normally do. Mark Gruenwald wrote it, and the scripting in this book was so terrible that I forgot that the Rick Levins pencils were not great. And Steve Alexandrov, maybe that's it. Maybe it was Steve Alexandrov inking this that made it a little bit better, because we did change inkers from Bolinati, so I actually don't remember thinking the art was as bad in this one. I guess as we go through, we'll... Joe Rosen lettered it. Gina Going colored it. Ralph Macchio edits it, I guess. Even though he keeps forgetting to tell us that Dr. Nightshade was the... I think we learned that last issue, right? That she was Legacy. Yeah. But... Or did we really just learn... Did we actually learn she was Legacy? Or did we just learn that the Falcon had become a werewolf? I think we just learned the Falcon had become a werewolf. Legacy, but we didn't learn... Yeah, it seems like that she has existed in the Captain America universe before. Should have been, like, known before now. Yeah. But that's okay. And Tom DeFalco is called Leader of the Pack, which... Oh. You know what that means.
He's on a motorcycle?
Vroom, vroom.
He's the leader of the pack.
Vroom, vroom.
Oh, man, he's a bad man.
Yeah,
and then... Wait, doesn't that mean he also... Oh, rest in peace, because that's, like...
He's also the leader of the clones.
Okay, leader of the clones. Yeah, true.
The spider clones. You're like, yeah, maybe we should read that someday.
Gosh, okay.
The Spider Clone Saga. Are you saying no?
Whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. Batang!
Like, I always wanted to learn about the origin of the Scarlet Spider. Yeah.
Let's bring it.
All of a sudden, there's this Scarlet Spider character running around. I had no idea what they were. Well, anyway, Cap bounces up from his chair and yells, "Grar!" It's a good thing we're doing this in the daytime, because we would have to do a drinking game for this if we were doing it at night, and I would be very drunk.
Yeah, because of all the. Well, I want you. I'm hoping, because you do a great play-by-play. When it gets to all of the talking of, like, you know, Cap talking as a werewolf, I'm hoping that you cover all that.
Oh, okay. Well, we've already started. So there are these weird red balloon things every time Cap is thinking.
For the next 20 pages.
As a werewolf. Yeah, for the next 20 pages. Additionally, they are black on red, which is great for contrast when you're reading.
This is so
thanks
bothersome.
for that. Thanks for that. Dr. Deadly / Dr. Nightshade is wanting to get more werewolves, and she's like yelling he's out of control, and the Dreadman guy is like yelling stop, and Captain is going, "Trapped out, find way out, opening, where must be somewhere, voice bad, voice not listen bad, shiny thing might take, not listen, take shiny thing, not listen."
Yep.
Next page. Oh, my next page is blank.
Your next page is blank. Oh no, this is like the best page.
Yeah, well, good news. I'm going to have to shift to the tablet, because I flipped the page on the computer on my high-speed network here.
Nothing.
Brought to me by Quantum Fiber. That makes me actually show up. Yeah, as not too grainy. You're actually showing up today, and my internet's failing. I don't know what's going on there. You know, the way things have been going today, I mean, this seems right and appropriate for how things are going today. So I will flip the page here. Good news, I have in my tablet right here, because I was reading this. And he says, "Make out now. Make way out now. Still, not climb up. Get out. Must run free.
Run free."
And then people outside are like, "My goodness. Oh, what's going on?"
All right.
And he's holding his shield. He says, "Out, bright sun, too bright hurts eyes. Feel funny, sick inside."
Oh, no.
And then we flip the page, and we've got our good friends here. Dr. Nightshade, Deadly Nightshade. And Mr. Dreadman. Dr. Dreadman?
He's the Dread.
Where do you think he got his... Where do you think these folks got their doctorates at?
I'm going to say they did a send-away They probably did their precursor stuff over at the community college. You pick, and then they did everything send away. So definitely mail in stuff, or.
Oh, I thought they got their doctorates at Evergreen State University.
Whoa. Excuse me, but they can't get a.
Excuse me, you're right. I apologize. The Evergreen State University.
I don't believe you can get a doctorate there.
Never. Okay, that does explain some things.
Because if you could, I would.
Would you got your doctorate in thugonomics?
No. I would have probably.
Because then you couldn't see it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's fantastic. I don't think he was actually like when I was going. I don't think he was in the show at that point. He was like a couple years later.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have had the original degree, a doctorate in thugonomics degree.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, like he would. Well, anyway, they walk outside and there's all these folks hanging out in town because it's daylight and they don't want to be werewolves right now. And then Mr. Dreadmond, angry purple cape guy.
Purple guy.
Changes a whole bunch of people into werewolves.
Snap of a finger.
And
werewolf time. Whoa.
And he's like, Captain America did not revert to human in sunlight. You gave him my new compound. Yes, he'll be easier to track. So they're going to find him. But she does point out, and this is where I have questions for you. The top of the page. Dreadman says, it appears that your potion interacted with his super soldier serum. You should have anticipated it. Now, when we were last reading, he did not have a super soldier serum. And now Diamondback is trying to get the blood with the super soldier serum. Traces in it, which could still mean he doesn't have it. It's just the trace. It's a trace. System. So I thought he didn't have the super soldier serum anymore. So why is this happening? He's just a human because steroids are bad.
I think inevitably the super soldier serum is in his system. He might not be taking it currently, but whatever trace is in there is there. It's not completely gone. It's not like you can blast it all out. It's probably still there on a base level. So I'm sure that's something that was covered.
Is there now you read these comics? Is there a comic between when we read now and last time that he started taking it again? I don't think
so.
Okay,
but I could be wrong. I mean, my memory is not what it used to be, and boy oh boy, I'm gonna say. I mean. Life, yeah. You end up with Swiss cheese brain,
Oh, so you're basically Dennis Dunphy.
Yes. What? Who? Why? What? Huh? Arr! Huh?
What? How, like, you should know because he's in this book and we've already talked about him in two other podcasts.
I'm sorry. I'm not a global class wrestler, a world unlimited class, a global class. Yes, I do have the gingery hair. It's going to become white someday in the spots. My memory is, what were we talking about? Huh?
Yeah, you can't get away with this. The listeners know of your love and what I could tell you is in none of the books behind me do any of them reference. All my comics history books here talk about the the getting the super soldier serum back. So I don't have it for you. I'm sorry.
Think he's gotten it back. It's just in his system. I think it's just in his system. I don't think.
Well, I think he got it back at some point and he forgot.
I don't think so. I don't think the Cap's going to be juicing it up.
Well, anyway, he's in the woods and he says, "Woods, run free. Need to run. Need to run. Need to run.
Need to run."
He doesn't say. He thinks. Now we go back to Central Park.
Hey, Dennis
and we have a guy who's 6'9", sitting on a bicycle. Because to sit on a bicycle like that, you have to be very tall. And the wrestler guy, Dennis, and is that Black Widow?
No, it's oh shoot, why can't I? Sorry.
It's Ms. Rosenthal. Okay. Well, and Jarvis. And Jarvis leaves. Jarvis is still in his butler's outfit, wandering through Central Park.
He never changes, man. Have you ever seen him change? Maybe that one time.
Well, he needs. I hope he has some sunscreen on that head too.
He does not.
That's gonna be rough.
He's gonna get a burn.
Well, anyway, some guy comes and steals, or she wants to keep him out there and longer, and she's talking to him. And by the way, I would just like to point out, he was apparently Captain America's partner between the books we read, and you should just never, ever, ever become Captain America's partner
because bad things will happen to you.
Yeah, or he'll just lose you and not find you again.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, he lost the Falcon at one point. He lost Bucky. We know that. He lost this guy. He lost Diamondback, who you wanted to have sex with and be his partner. So,
at 2 levels.
I think he's lost Black Widow at times. I believe.
Yeah. I believe. He threw her into the ocean.
He did throw her into the ocean. He's just. He just. And a moral of the story is honestly, Captain America needs to work alone.
Cap. You got a losing problem. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we flip the page, and the purse snatcher is run, and she goes to chase down the purse, and Mr. Dunphy just stands there looking buff and looking away.
Yeah.
Well, now we get back to Starksboro. Oh, I forgot about this guy.
You forgot?
Yeah, shitty Doctor Strange is back.
Oh, he's back. Back again.
Oh. And he's like, I hope Captain America doesn't think I deserted him. Well, you kind of did. Where did you go?
He Houdini'd on him.
Apparently. And he's like, I'm going to find the power behind the werewolves. As I am the biggest expert on druidism and stuff. Yeah. And I know that the town is lycanthropic.
And stuff.
And I can say big words. I have a new coworker who just likes to use all these big words that no one else really knows, and then to sound important. That's this guy.
This guy is your new coworker.
So I'm gonna nickname my coworker at work. Maybe I will name them Dr.
Hey, Dr.
Druid.
Druid, how are you doing today? And they're like, well, I don't get it. And you're like, that's okay.
I don't get it. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to
either.
As long as I get it. Well, Dr. Druid's wandering around and he sees a shiny rock.
Shiny rock.
That's the blood red crystal is back. We've seen that before. And Dr. Dreadmond is aware of his presence and he summons his silly hat. And now we've got one guy in a purple suit. We got fake Loki. We got purple suit Loki. And purple suit Loki is about to fight with shitty Doctor Strange. And they have the most invigorating fight ever. They stare at each other, and purple shit shoots out of their eyes, and it just hovers in the middle of the page.
I'm so angry at you. I'm going to purple shit out my eyes.
And on cue, as we're doing the podcast, I'm talking about the stupid, crappy Loki and crappy Doctor Strange. My neighbors across the street decide to rev their shitty, crappy Mustang or Charger or whatever the thing out there is. And I'm not talking the old cool ones. I'm talking one of the new ones. So
nice.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, good news. I'm sure all the listeners got that to hear that exciting thing. And now we're back to Captain America, and he's like, hard to think, not feel right, feel different. What happened to me? What am I? What was I? What do they want from me? Ask them what I am. Can't speak. Words in head, but lost in throat. Must tell them I'm not enemy. Not hider. Not a hider. Not hunted. Person who made us this is enemy. Okay. That's some more werewolf talk.
And Capwood looks all funny too. He doesn't look like he looks like the friendliest wolf. Like
Juliet,
just
the
like
dog.
A happy, just hey guys, what's going on?
He's like, Look at me. Look, I just want belly rubs and scratches. Yeah. Well, then on the next page, he's in the woods with all the other werewolves, and he says, "Come, follow me. We can't fight him. Force him to change us back to what we were. Understand me? No. Surrounding me, growling, going to attack. Not going to waste energy fighting, not enemies. Legs. Not know I can leap so high." Wait, I thought Captain America was an acrobatics specialist, and one of the big things about his powers was agility and leaping.
He didn't know as a wolf he could jump so high.
Oh, okay. Well, go back to Human Town. Find
Human
enemy.
Town.
Force, turn me back. Man with long claws. Know him. Forgot name. Wolverine, by the way, just jumps out of a tree.
He just starts just destroying on him. Like, snickety snick. Here's my long claws.
Well, he hits the vibranium versus adamantium. It shoots off some sparks. And Cap says, "Sharp claws, shiny things stop them. Wants to kill me. No reason to fight. Maybe he understand me. Growl, growl. Must find person who makes us animal." Thought he was understanding me as Wolverine cuts his shoulder.
Poor Cap.
And then he says, "Pain, blood, heartbeat, can't stop." And he swipes and scratches Wolverine's eyes and dispatches Wolverine with one hit and throws him into the werewolves. And he says, "Gra, krr, That's what he's thinking. That's not the noises he's making. That's what he's thinking inside his head. And we do still have some good noises on the page. We have a grog, a svix, a para, a womb, and an r. Yeah, so it's and then Captain America is still running through woods going hurrah, and we get an elsewhere, and we've got Dr. Lame and Dr. Stupid staring at each other,
locking.
And still the purple beam is and shitty Doctor Strange is like, "I'm giving enough mental force to give him a hemorrhage. He must be using something. That gem, I've got to destroy it." They keep talking about this gem for the entire book. I guess a gem is key to everything, so why don't we just toss it in the Hudson River and be done?
Get rid of it. Destroy it.
Well, meanwhile, back in Central Park, apparently Miss what's-her-face? I already forgot. Miss Rosenthal has lost the wrestler.
How could she do that? He's a mountain of a man.
Anyway, we go back to Massachusetts, and Shitty Lobo shows up to go take out Cap on his Sky Cycle, or whatever it is. That's Captain America's thing. Whatever, his shitty fake Lobo cycle. And Cap says, "Hear noise above, machine noise heard before. Not turn around, keep running, choking. Silver rope, silver face on machine. Not let him choke me." And he pulls Moonbeam or whatever the hell he is. Moonshine. No, that's a good comic. What is his name again?
No.
Moondragon?
Moon Hunter.
Yeah.
Rick Hunter.
And he pulls him and he pulls Moon Hunter and his shitty Sky Cycle. Or no, his motorcycle crashes into a house and it's gone.
Gosh. Destruction everywhere.
So much for Shitty Lobo's motorcycle. And then he's like, "The fall knocked the wind out of me, but my padding took the brunt of it." So it turns out all the uniform padding, he keeps talking about his padding. Find out that
Moon Hunter is a child.
You keep talking about, well, that could be true. I was just going to go back to when you keep talking about your padding, you may be lacking in another area.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it's either a very small person or a child.
Well. He's like, he didn't anticipate such strength out of Captain America, who's now a werewolf.
That's underestimating your... Yeah, that's bad.
Well, back in Dreadman's lair, shitty Loki wins against shitty Doctor Strange and then makes fun of him, as we've been doing. He says, "Anthony Droom, alias Dr. Druid, the world's leading authority on druidism. You've been defeated, Anthony, overwhelmed by my superior might. As he has in every single battle he's been in the entire 4 issues." So, Now, Cap has wandered back to the town, and he says, "Inside town. Need to find Dr. Woman. Make her change me back." And she's looking rather alluring on a balcony.
Hey, Cap.
And she says, "Oh, Captain, are you looking for me by chance?" And he goes, "Dr. Woman."
Yes.
And she says, "Hurt me, and any hope you have for changing back to human is lost forever. Do you understand?" And she says, "Good boy." And then she's going to give him a belly rub before next issue.
Oh.
And she's like, "He's doing it, becoming docile at the sound of my voice, the scent of my pheromones. Ah, good to see the old queen of werewolves hasn't lost it. Ah, we find out there should be an editor's note right there with an issue fucking number where she was there before, but we don't because Ralph Macchio is a crappy editor."
Oh, you said it.
I've said it like 100 times.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it should be down there. There should be a little asterisk down there, and there should be an issue reference.
Correct. There should be a reference that, yes, we've already seen this character. We have. You don't know it. You don't know it through all the other issues, but then all of a sudden the reference is there, and it's like, oh, BT Dubs people, head on back 20 years at this point. Now, I mean, well, 20 years at the point when it was when it was written, right?
But still, there should be a reference there. That character showed up before.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There should be a reference. It's like 30 plus years now. 40.
Well, we turn the page.
Whoa! Diamondback cross country.
Diamondback. Remember last issue, Diamondback was trying to steal Captain America's blood, so she is doing it again, and then the security guy comes, and this story is written by Mark Gruenwald, Larry Alexander, Ariane does inks, and Ariane doesn't have a name, just Ariane, just not two names, and Steve Dutro is on letters, and we get a title of the book, Cross Country, and basically, we're going to go quickly through this one. Diamondback gets some blood. The security guy comes in and is like, "You shouldn't do that. And then she holds one of her little diamond things like she's going to cut him. And then he just lets her go.
Yeah, you're free to go.
And then she leaves and she gets in a car with Crossbones. and then Crossbones is like, "Okay, cool. Thank you. You passed the test." And then they apparently drive across country in one panel. All the way to Colorado.
They do it in one panel.
They go up on a mountain.
And they get some gas.
Yeah, apparently. And then they get there and they're climbing a mountain. And then they're going to get in a fight with shitty Batman.
Genghis Khan.
A guy, Genghis Khan, shitty Batman, and shitty Hobgoblin.
It's dead on.
And if Hobgoblin is shitty Green Goblin, then it's like shitty Hobgoblin.
Yeah. Oh, the shittiest.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story. Okay, All Out War next.
All Out War.
I would spend more time on the Diamondback story, but there's really nothing to it. Like, in 8 pages, they just...
Blah. Here you go.
And apparently she's... I guess we don't know if she's going to turn on Crossbones or not, but it sounds like she's doing his bidding right now.
Crossbones to fight off these 3 rogues, because it's crazy. This Batman looks kind of like Batman 249 or 2049, 27. Yeah. I mean, is it 2049? 20. Yeah, he looks like future Batman. It's the character design, and I'm like, that wasn't even a thing at that point, but it became that. And maybe they took this design and turned it into that.
Well, I've got some letters for you.
We got a letter or two. All right, let's hear.
Yeah. I feel like they're lukewarm assessments of what's going on.
Get it.
From Dan Wermert of 23008 East Carson Street, Apartment 1.
Is this really you?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 515-203-2110. We could reach out. So if you want to reach out to him, you can. He says, "Dear Capsters, I'm 26 and I used to read Captain America as a kid. However, in the late 70s, the stories changed from exciting to dull. No new villains, no new reasons for the fight, etc. So I dropped the book. However, Captain America 398 caught my eye, and the story was original, well planned, and very well executed. Now with Operation Galactic Storm going on here, and as well as other titles, my hat's off to you, Ralph and Pat. Someone finally woke up and gave Cap a life with Diamondback as his girlfriend. Well, that's changed between now and
Surprise.
then. And the such. Just only in like a few issues, yeah. However, the feud between Cap and Iron Man has been done before with Cap and Hawkeye. And the feud between Captain America and Iron Man will be done again in the amazing epic Civil War, which you can watch in theaters and or read, which I can't read anymore because I could read on the Marvel app, but I actually had Anne sell all of mine at the store because it's a shitty fucking terrible story, and I didn't even want it in my 16,000 comic book issue
you didn't
collection.
Want it because why?
Civil War made me quit buying Marvel comics. So, didn't make me. I chose to. When they unmasked Spider-Man, I was like, yeah, I'm done. when Spider-Man sides the government, spoiler, I'm done. Anyway, Cap, Hawkeye dispute. They are each leaders of a team now. Solve Cap, Iron Man dispute over who's leading another 10 years. I'm looking forward to 400 with the Falcon again. The Falcon was there?
The Falcon was there.
We don't have the Falcon now. Cap always did better as a team player. No, patently false. We're finding out he abandons every partner. He's not a team player at all. And he put all the Avengers support staff in the same jumpsuits. I mean, I guess the good thing about putting them all in the same jumpsuits was that one episode of Rick and Morty I mentioned a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we got that because of that.
Right.
But yeah, well, you know, I mean, people were kind of liking it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they seem pretty terrible to me, but...
You're like, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here's Bradford R. Poston from 405 East River Road, Tucson, Arizona. 85718. Now, it's interesting. I wouldn't have expected there to be a river road in Tucson, Arizona. I mean, I know there's rivers there, but, you know, just... Anyway, well, Captain America 399 was really read more like an issue of Avengers than one of Cap, though I suppose certainly uniformity of style is inevitable in these multi-part crossovers. So I would highlight that this, like, 399 and stuff they're referencing was a crossover book, too, so maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's why people liked it, and they were forcing you to buy the Cap books.
Yeah.
Well, good news. Rick Levins is in blackface at the bottom of the page, so...
Is that what it is, or is he dressed like a werewolf?
Well, I
thought he was dressed as a werewolf.
Are you sure?
Because he's got claws. He's got it's brown.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to, because, you know, the listeners can only hear what you're saying. I'm seeing a visual representation. He's got a nose. He's got a lips. He's got some accents as to, like, whiskers or whatever.
So you're saying it's not as problematic as it initially looks? No, it doesn't.
It's not as problematic as it actually looks. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't tell you what he's dressed as or what he's supposed to be, but yes, I think he's a werewolf. But it's because he's doing a werewolf book, so he dressed up as a werewolf for fun. But they should have said that, because yes, it is very into. In 1992, it should have been problematic. You should have had a note as to, hey, I'm dressed as a werewolf. Now, it definitely is, hey, he's dressed as a werewolf. Because, yeah, very sus, as the kids would say.
Well, I can just tell you, I haven't read next issue, but I'm glancing through it right now.
Yeah, I'm saving it for later.
And they're going to try to recover the story and in proper Marvel fashion by introducing a whole bunch of guest stars.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's always good. You know what you do when a book's struggling at Marvel? Spider-Man or Wolverine show up. Well, Wolverine's already been here, and the book's still terrible.
Bring the Hulk into it.
What is the purpose of Wolverine in this story so far?
There's no good reason why he's there except for, hey, let's put a needle in his eye and make him a werewolf.
And they didn't make him a werewolf.
He became a werewolf for like one panel and then reverted back because he's too strong for the serum.
But then they could mind control him anyway.
He's weak.
Well, it looks like it's going to be. We're going to have an interesting next issue. Anyway, all right. We're going to get a new mutant appearing.
A new mutant?
We're going to get the guy that changed the New Mutants from New Mutants to X-Force appearing. Sweet. There's all sorts of things going to happen. Cool. We're going to have a guy that fell out of an airplane in the Deadpool movie and died in power lines. Yeah, awesome. Appearing. It's didn't he die in power lines?
Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's going to be a very exciting next podcast. So if you didn't think this podcast was exciting, you didn't learn anything about the post office this issue,
or rebuilding this episode, this issue.
Yeah, or you didn't learn anything about how Captain America thinks is a werewolf, or how you should think if you're going to become a werewolf.
How will you act? That's important. Follow us for more tips and tricks. Project-Nerd.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's project-nerd.com can teach you about how to be a werewolf.
That's for sure. 100%. Yeah. They're nothing but your best werewolf website, Ooh, a werewolf website.
Yeah, well, I can also tell you that there is a giveaway going on over at Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul Boudreau at Certified Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook and Instagram.
If you win the giveaway.
Like if you sign up or share some posts, you could get a entire year's worth of jiu-jitsu training for free.
I'm gonna do it. Wait.
You should do it. You need it.
Oh, thanks a lot, Dan. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Painfully true. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You could do that. So if you want to meet Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul Boudreau in person and you're in the Puget Sound area, you could do that. But if you're not, that's okay too. He also supports us, so that's fun. We also, of course, get supported by, sometimes, and sometimes we don't. But sometimes, most of the time, our podcast is supported by the Retro Emporium. Yes. And your wonderful other person that lives at your house and is like married to you or something, Anne. Yeah. Sometimes she loves the podcast, sometimes not so much, but that's okay.
She loves the podcast.
We try to bring her around.
She doesn't like to participate in the podcast.
I see. So you could also visit the Retro Emporium on Meeker Street in Kent, Washington, right downtown. You can relive your childhood. It's a pretty nifty place. Greg also has that's going to be done. But
you can find Starlight at starlight.com. You can find all the issues, regardless if the Kickstarter is going or not.
And on Amazon.com
because we are.
And you can also buy some book about Space Camp or something
on Amazon or at your local comic book store or Barnes & Noble.
So, Absolute Zeros Camp Launchpad, not to be confused with the future issue, which is going to be called Absolute Zeros.
We don't have no working title currently.
Oh, I thought we were going to get a scoop here on Funny Book Forensics. Do you see how, as an esteemed member of the comic book media, I slid that comment in and he almost gave me an answer, but then like all crafty authors, just slid right back in there, and it's going to make you wait and anticipate next thing.
You have to wait till the schedule. We have to wait till the schedule comes out. Then they give us we got a working title we're going to run with and all that other stuff. So I mean, I got nothing.
All right. Well, you have any other plugs besides all those?
Any other plugs besides all those? At the moment, those are the things. We got Supernatural Baby Detective is going to be coming back to you for another fun Kickstarter. So you'll be hearing about that from me.
All right, we'll let you know when that's ready, and we'll have links and stuff. If you liked Supernatural Baby Detective, I think that Dr. Druid would have been wiped out by Supernatural Baby Detective.
You think so? Dr. Judd, he would have gone up against the supernatural baby detective, and the baby detective would have taken him out at his knees?
I think, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You know why? Because Supernatural Baby Detective is set here in the Seattle area, the Pacific Northwest, and Supernatural Baby Detective takes classes with Jiu-Jitsu lawyer Paul.
Does he now? Okay. Well, all right. I mean, that may be true.
We don't know. So, I mean, continuity-wise.
Not only is he supernatural, but he can put on a mean armbar. Yeah, so I mean,
sweep the leg. Sweep the leg.
Wow. Well, there we go. That's, yeah. Well, on that note, until we get to a better comic book, I will be logging off.
We are going to finish this out in all its glory.
Oh, we are.
Great.
So next time we're covering issue 406 instead of the 405 we covered this time.
And then what?
You know what? I should have thought about this at the start, but the 405 is always a nightmare.
The 405. True. Oh my gosh.
And it continues on. No matter when I see that number, it's always terrible. Yeah, there we go.
Very good.
All right, well, we should probably wrap this up on that note, on a Seattle traffic note, that Bellevue traffic note that nobody gets except people that live up here. We'll just say the 405 sucks, and so did this book. And with that, I'm out of here.
Me too.
Take care of yourselves. I hope you had fun listening, and we will see you soon.
Bye. Oh, I'm trying. It's there. No, that's the wrong button.